Okay.
weird.
That is different.
Yeah.
Do I have a second?
Yes, you have a second.
Okay. Haley says by resolution.
Primer, aye.
Beershank, aye.
Seaman, aye. There you go.
You need one of these initial,
No, we'll get the resolution typed up and you'll sign that one for her.
And I want to give you guys this map. The other thing I need to talk to you about real quick is starting January 1st, the state has made an agreement with the Dealers Association that we are going to have to start titling contiguous counties. So as you can see, the ones with the stars, those are all the counties that touch Benton County, so they can come to Benton County to have vehicles transferred. We don't know how it's gonna impact us. I don't feel we'll probably lose any, but we're gonna have probably some people from Lynn and that come in, but I can't tell you how many it might make us, but I just wanted you guys to be aware of it.
Ken, go ahead.
Do you get an extra fee then?
No,
No extra fee? Can't?
no, it has to do with an agreement the state and the Dealers Association developed a few years ago, trying to get this electronic title and registration process going. And if the state didn't have it fully functioning by 2020, the Dealers Association could push for this. Well, so what they came up with is they were just gonna do cross-title, titling, but there was gonna be an increase in like title fees and that because they have not raised any of these fees for 30 years. So they're trying to make it so the counties, if we got busy, would make up the difference. You know, we'd have, in case we had to hire extra employees and that. Well, that didn't pass the House. So as of right now, we're stuck with this part. We'll get, if we get more business, yes, we'll generate a little bit more money off of the titles, but other than that, we're not getting anything extra. But
Well,
we're
there's-
still trying to do the whole cross title thing. So that we might get some increase in fees eventually.
There's 3 counties that have a large population,
Yeah.
Blackhawk, Lynn, and Johnson.
Yeah.
Is there any way that you can take Benton County people first, regardless?
They haven't said that we can't. That's my plan. Try to. I mean, they haven't made up anything that says that, you know, that we can't like implement no out-of-county transfers after a certain time, just, but like I said, they're not going to promote it. They're not gonna be doing commercials and that because the state really doesn't want this either. But they're the ones that didn't get the program going like they were supposed to.
so any of these counties, if you took Polk, for example, they could go to Dallas, Boone,
Yes.
Story, Marshall, any of the surrounding,
Yeah, as long as they're touching that county and any,
and Johnson can go
here, there's just that little corner.
around.
7.
Yeah.
So the small corner down there, Fremont, is there, what's the
Um,
big deal with that? I mean, you-
Oh, this was just a map when they did our thing, just to show,
Okay,
but for some
No
reason they
significant
highlighted that.
okay, all right,
Yeah, so I just wanted you guys to be aware of that.
okay.
Hopefully, I don't have to hire any more help, because if we do, we have to remodel. Because we have no space.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Melinda.
On the
Mark.
minutes, I do have to change the date on the time.
On which one?
On, yep, the second minutes. I had October 26th, so I'll find it.
I've given you an application for a farm exemption that we received from Ray and Joan Mutual. Ray and Joan currently live approximately right over here. The land that we're looking at here is in section 2, 84-9 or Canton Township. It's right along the east side of 32nd Avenue. They own 60 acres right there. They own 80 acres over here in section 1. But they've applied for farm exemption. They'd like to build a new house in that location that I showed you with the attached aerial. This all works as far as our land use ordinance is concerned. 40 acres there that he mentioned that was going to stay as tillable, and there's 20 acres of pasture at that location. Where the home is going to be, there is a corn crib sitting there. There is evidence of the remnants of the old building site there years ago, a mile and a half north of Shellsburg, right there. They're not gonna take any land that exists there out of production. It has been used as pasture right where the building site is, but there is, obviously more than 21 acres as our ordinance requires for it to receive a farm exemption, so it qualifies, and I recommend to you that it be approved.
Okay.
So move.
And I'll make the second on that.
All in favor of granting the land use change for Ray and Joan Mullis?
Farm exemption for Ray and Joan
Musel, okay.
Aye.
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 Thank you, sir.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Remember when there was a house there? Much. There was somebody
There
living
was,
there.
yes. I think in the late 70s is about when it disappeared.
You guys happen to look at the claim or minutes?
I did. I didn't see anything. Did you, Gary, see anything?
No.
Okay. Got a motion?
Tracy and I did.
I found a boo-boo and
Yeah.
she's
I already
fixed,
fixed
she
it,
fixed
so-
it, so.
Just now,
Okay.
so, before
Make
you
a
approve
motion
them.
that they be approved.
Second.
All in favor of approving the minutes?
Aye.
How about the claims?
I already asked my question. Do
Oh,
you have any, Gary?
the historic one. Moving forward with the ARPs, I have a couple bills to start paying, like for the website that you guys, I think I'll have you guys maybe do those separate next week.
Mhm.
That way we keep track of those as a separate motion going
Mhm.
forward.
Mhm.
Agree with that?
Right.
Okay, so that'll be on next week.
Okay. Only question I have, and it kind of pertains to the sheriff. We got there's three of the same numbers across here. You got IT hardware for page 2, guys. You got your deal. Page, it's $6,460 twice, Haley.
Yep.
See that?
There's three of them.
Yeah, there's three of them.
Yep.
That's Dell Financial.
Dell Financial.
When we put the new server in, and we put all new equipment on the
See that?
administrative side.
I got
Yep, if you look, they all are in
different numbers.
different invoices.
Yes,
so-
I seen that.
Yep,
Should be 2 out of the sheriff's and 1 out of 911.
Yes, there was.
That's the servers and then all the related equipment on the administrative side.
Jeff, any other questions?
That's all I got.
And I'd make a motion that we approve the claim.
Second.
All in favor of approving the claims?
Aye.
9:10, Dean.
I'll take those, Gary.
Morning.
Morning.
I just want to bring to your attention that with the rise of fuel costs
Thank you.
over in transportation, that we're looking at upping our fares on some of our rates. So I'll bring them to you as soon as what I feel they should be, and then they'll have to be posted for 30 days in the paper. So they're posted 30 days prior to the open up. So I feel some of our rates, one-way trip to Cedar Rapids at $6, when then comparing it to some of these other counties are charging 10. I still think that's a pretty good deal for people, so that's one we're looking at. So looking at other counties, we're on the low side of, comparable to like Jones County is one I compare with, they're comparable to us. So, we're on the low side of some of this transportation costs. I just want to get ahead of this rising fuel cost, because from what it's done from July to now, it's gone up considerably. So I just want to bring that to your attention, that's what I'm looking at doing. And then once I get where I feel I want to be, and I'll bring it to you guys and have you guys approve that for me.
Okay.
Okay, that's all I needed.
Okay, sounds
Thank
good,
you.
Dean.
do you wanna do the historic commission? Which, I don't know if anybody talked to anybody, but Ed Wan passed away, so we got an app from Wendy Winky for Belle Plaine was interested. So far, it's the only one I got, so if you wanna appoint her as our replacement.
Wasn't Chuck Yedley gonna?
He is for the township, not
Oh,
the
okay.
historic preservation.
Okay, all right,
And I did get the keys back for here, that Edwin had just got a pair.
okay.
So I got that back.
All right. Has that been looked at by the commission?
I assumed they're the ones who rounded her up and sent it to us, but
Okay.
I'm assuming, but you guys, if you wanna wait, that's,
Wait for.
so I think we should be okay still with the gender balance, because there's not a lot of.
Wendy what?
Winky.
Winky. One's from Belle Plaine, do you know who that is? Windy Winky?
I recognize the last name.
Have a good day.
I think they're already meeting, aren't they, this week or something? Isn't that what Peggy said?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if you wanna wait and talk to somebody, that's fine. I don't know if that's a hurry.
Well, if they rounded her up,
Yeah.
I got no problem with it.
She'll just fulfill what was left on his term too,
Mhm.
then.
I'll make a motion that we go with Wendy Winky for the historical commission.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
It looks like she's well qualified.
Do you wanna do number 8 quick?
Yeah.
So that is the committed funds after the end of fiscal year, we do every year, so like conservation, you know how they've been putting money, so now they are up to 200,000. The sanitarian, we put money aside for their vehicle,
Mm-hmm.
emergency response, election equipment, and then out of the lost, we have 115,000 to cover pictometry, the aerial flight, and technology upgrades. And then we have the EMS revolving loan fund, which has a balance of 122,715. But as you know, Norway wants to use, so him and I have talked a little bit too, but I still can't go above that amount unless we transfer money from other funds to that fund, so that's something to think about as well.
Okay.
So it's kind of just a formality, and then you'll notice in the AFR, at the end, you have to put those amounts that's committed in the budget and in the annual financial report. So that's why we do this resolution.
We're gonna apply fall again,
Yeah,
that's what I thought.
and I think.
So that bill hasn't come, of course,
No, but we'll start paying it yet.
because I think that's what we decided last year after the storm.
Yep.
Okay.
So that is a resolution. Don't sign that because I want to change the number since Melinda's
Got
was a
it,
resolution.
got it. 16.
And I don't know, I know Ben Bonner had talked about maybe doing some of that too for stuff, so. What would be helpful for me is at the end of the fiscal year, at the end of June 30th, that they give me something in writing too, like, this was left over, add it to. Otherwise, if they
Do
don't.
not? do
Not
that?
for Ben, because nothing was really, he hasn't really, with this
Right.
first budget, but going forward, he could do that.
Yep. But these others
Right.
do.
That way we have something that we have some better tracking to know what they
Sure.
put in there and didn't. Just so they know what the year they're gonna spend it, they have to put the full spending authority in.
There's this back. Need a motion to adopt this committed funds to approve them?
Mm-hmm.
Resolution.
Yes, I do.
I'll make that motion.
Okay.
Second.
All in favor by resolution? for
Primer,
committed
aye.
funds?
Beershank, aye.
Seaman, aye.
Now
9:15. Minor Cemetery.
Well, back to Springtown Cemetery. We're just curious as to when and what the next step will be. And we got the radar. Shouldn't there be some kind of official notification or reclamation with the landowner, like you're reclaiming that spot of land? We can't just walk out there and start working, can we?
That's, I would call a county attorney
Because you're not,
question.
are you wanting to hold title to it when it's done? Like a
Well,
quitclaim deed or?
that or at least an exception out of the deed. I mean, there
Yeah.
was an exception of the deed up till the 40s, and then it just disappeared.
Mhm.
I don't want to just walk out there and have him come out the shotgun and say, get off my property. I don't know what the next step would be.
Or a lawsuit.
Yeah, perpetual easement or a quitclaim deed, I think.
I've been over this thing,
That's the one she's gotta do again.
Yeah, you don't have to sign that one.
Oh,
I'm gonna change
Wrong
it.
date.
Sorry.
Wrong date.
It's, no, it's wrong numbering.
I've been over this probably half a dozen times trying to get the layout. And the graves are actually running north and south. And Glenn from the U of I said that's normal for older cemeteries, that's not unusual. And it looks like a few of the graves spill over the edge of the investigation, so it's a little bit longer, a little bit wider than what we did with the radar.
See, I never seen any of the result from the radar. Have you guys?
no,
I thought that was emailed to you guys.
I don't know that we've had the,
I know Myron got it.
Yeah, mine got it, but I never.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, it's not,
I think I've seen the result, but not
it's not
necessarily a
really,
plot or
it's
anything.
not real distinct because the radar doesn't shoot straight down, it shoots down as a cone. And so it's moving along to catch the bottom of the grave before it gets above the grave, so it's pretty fuzzy. You know, it's not distinct lines. He thinks 22 to 25 graves. I've been over it. I come up with about 22. Our Dowser had like 21, he figured. So we're pretty close. It's pretty good. And the majority are in the western half of this plot that we worked on. The eastern half's pretty empty except for a badger hole. There might be one grave down the southeast corner a little bit. But like I said, I don't want to go out there and just start doing something and get in trouble.
Yeah, I think you're gonna have to go through the county attorney, don't you?
I was hoping he'd be here today.
Well, he's gonna need to have the information so he can look it over. Get him all you got.
Well, I figured he looks at your agenda and comes in when he thinks he has to, but maybe not.
I'd take it up to him.
Is that a copy of the radar that you got there?
That's a copy of two of the sheets.
Show him what you do.
Well, based on that, like I said, I've been over this half a dozen times. It's, well, I can show you what the 3D looks like. It's pretty fuzzy. But I come up with that layout. See, most of them are in the western half.
And you can tell that there's something there.
Yeah, and he picked up some metal once in a while, like where the hinges are on a coffin.
Sure. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Pass this on down.
Get it. I should have made copies.
Sorry. Chance to look at it.
Well, I can forward that email to you guys, or what I've got, the entire report.
I mean, didn't the county attorney say when he initially did this that he wanted it like surveyed right away? I mean, like last spring.
He wanted to go in there the same day and survey the
So-
corners.
So our assumption was that all the legalities had been taken care of, because he was like, you know, we need to get in there right now and get it surveyed quick before he plants.
If they plant
So
and a crop.
based on that, it sounded like everything was taken care of, but then when I talked to Myron here a couple weeks ago, he said, I wanna make sure that, you know, everything's, all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed before we go out and hire somebody to go out and, survey it, but
The corners are GPS. And I don't have something I can identify the corner, but I imagine Myron probably does. I have exact points where the corners of this were. DBS?
He has survey equipment, he said.
Then we could just expand it out to include those grades that are right along the edge.
Recorder also, those corner certificates, make sure they're on file too.
There isn't gonna be any problem with widening the road, the way that looks.
Maybe not. Yeah, because they're mostly to the western half of that, except maybe one in the southeast corner somewhat.
Mhm.
But we'd like to address that and also the access road to get to it at some point before, I mean, not that it has to be done, but we'd like to make sure that that's all considered and decided upon, so that it's ready.
How far from the gravel road intersection?
It's
Quite a ways,
It's a
isn't it?
ways south. It's closer, there's a field entrance on the other side of the power pole. So it's not too far from that field entrance.
It's gonna be a problem for him to come into that corner and
Yeah.
come back out.
Yep.
I think they got 24 row equipment. I mean,
There it is.
We just kind of wanted to make sure that we confirm what the steps are and that we keep driving the process, because really the plan was to get this surveyed last spring, and now we've gone a whole growing season, and, you know, if there are steps that can be taken now, we want to start moving forward with that.
Didn't we hire, or you paid them for the LiDAR is what it was, never mind. Because did they do more than one cemetery when you did that one? Or was it just this one?
Well, I think you need to get with the county attorney.
it's probably been 80 years ago since they moved them stones.
No, your maps, this go this way, like the map you made, or
North and south.
this? I'm trying
Yeah,
to
that
make
way's
it.
north, there's 21st, we're Blacktop
Okay,
Highway.
this is north, and then how about this?
Same thing like this. Really.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah. Mostly graves are on the
okay.
western half of that.
Okay, so this is what they think there's graves.
Yeah, and there might be one down here just overlapping the border there a little bit.
I'll bet you the church was right in the middle there, where the graves kind of.
I think church was to the south, I think. And this, there was a big badger hole there, and I think he's digging around underneath there is what this is. And the badger hole's there right now, so.
They make some damage, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they can do
But
it
they
about.
think it's 6 foot deep? Think the graves are 6 foot deep?
Oh, this is 1.8 meters.
Yeah, I see that. That's
Yeah.
why I can't believe.
Well, there's a hill, and kind of washes in there, I assume, over time.
Well, then all the plowing on top kind of messes things up too, across the top of them, so. Another reason it's not really distinct, it's kind of fuzzy.
The last thing I wanted to make sure of too is another thing Myron mentioned is that there had been talk, I don't know amongst who, of do we need to bring him back out to make sure that there isn't another row or another row? Since it was kind of stopped halfway through that row.
But the record you got, you think there's point, that you think you got. There's 21.2 right there.
Right about there.
And it Dallas read about that too.
Yeah.
We just want to make sure that's not another step that we need to put in the process.
Well, that would make some sense if you have concerns that there may be additional area. Maybe you need to get that ground penetrating equipment back out.
I don't know how concerned we are. You know, that's up to you to decide, because I think you ended up paying for that GPR. It's pretty pricey. But, I mean, based on the dowsing, and the records it's right around the right number of graves.
So we could expand this out maybe another 4 or 6 feet, make sure we include the graves that are over the edge.
Okay.
And square it up, because it wasn't square, it angles a little bit. We want to square it up.
There is, a township correction line there, a mile south of 30. That's township line. So, I don't know, it's not real visible there. I mean,
Well, you're satisfied with the ground penetration and you just wanna make sure you get things squared up, et cetera.
And we're legal. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, with the county attorney. Sound like a broken record here, but I think that's what you gotta do. So, and push him. If he's the one that thought he needed to get it done before planting season, and now it's been harvested,
We wanted to do it immediately and
Yeah.
survey, but we didn't get the results back for a week.
Yep.
Maybe a week and a half,
so
something like that. Yeah,
Okay.
run through the computer.
now you've got the results, now it's
Yeah.
get her done.
Do you know if he's in the office today?
Was he there today?
Well,
I don't know.
We don't know.
doesn't matter, just go up there and make sure somebody's got it, turn it over to them.
or make
What's
copies.
your long range plan then? Just put a fence
Fence
and then seed it down?
and put a
Put the
sign
sign
up.
back up.
And we've been throwing this around, since we kind of figure out what the graves are, we've seen where somebody has these small stones that says rest in peace. Stick one at the head of each grave, and as we get the names, the people buried there, we're gonna have a monument or a plaque or something, put their names on it, or along the edge, so people come in and say, well, you know, so-and-so's buried here. Because there was a fellow who came to town one day, here a few years ago, looking for that cemetery. And he couldn't find it, he got really upset about it, went into Blairstown, he was pretty upset about it, because he has family there.
Do you have the names of the people that are buried?
Working on it.
Working on it, we have names of the people in the congregation, we have about 48, 50 names, so he's probably in that list, I'm guessing.
And then after it's all said and done, fence is up, little stones there, it's seeded, who's gonna take care of it? You gonna dump this on the township trustees?
Supposed to be, right? They're supposed to take care of them.
We got the tin off the church on our barn, and the barn got blown down.
I
A
thought
year
you
ago.
said you knew where some of the headstones were.
I do, well, I don't know exactly where they're at, but I know what happened to them. They were dumped in a creek over east. I think that ground's been sold now, I don't even know who owns it. But the creek changes course, and it changes depth.
And Steve Meyer, our dowser, when he was young, he talked to the hired hand. This hired hand said he helped take the stones off and dump them in the creek or in a ditch somewhere.
Well, that's what you have to do, go talk to the county attorney.
And we'll get action immediately.
You'll come back to us once you've got your information. I would assume that'd be how it would work. So,
Well,
Did you wanna, while you guys are here, talk about that office space or how, for the storage too?
Yeah, I talked to Haley about
oh,
that, the storage space, and she recommended that if it's, like outdoor type things, like the fence and
oh,
stuff like that, we wanna store, that they have storage area for the sheriff's office.
Yeah,
used to
that's
be.
what I thought, rather than occupying an office space.
Well, our fencing, we're gonna put up, we've got a place for that already.
Okay.
We can do East Eden.
But
But then,
they
I mean,
rather
also
than
the
take some
storage
office
for
space.
caulking
We have some tools, and we have a couple boxes and such of files and things. We like to have a central location for it. So it's not in my house, then her house, and then
Right,
this guy's
well,
house.
that's what my suggestion to him was, rather than occupying the whole office space here.
To weed
Because-
commissioner.
Yeah, over there in that outdoor, or that shared garage area maybe, because it can get cold, I assume, right, the stuff?
Probably not the caulking.
Some of
the
that.
epoxy probably.
Yeah,
Well, I think the sheriff even has a heated
yeah.
garage over there as well,
Mm-hmm,
so.
yeah. That was just
Where
one
they
of my
keep some of their
thoughts.
evidence and that kind
The
of
one
thing.
thing that I had forgotten to tell you about though was we do have files.
Uh-huh.
So I, if it's an area that might flood, that kind of thing, we wouldn't want it there. But if there's another place we could.
Like a file cabinet type thing, and that could be something too, we could put in one of these or something too, just so it's somewhere in the county building for you.
Just so each of us has access, instead of being in my house and I'm gone for 2 weeks and they want to look at
Mhm.
something, they can't. So.
Well, and you had talked about using this room for a meeting too, so
Mhm.
we could talk about getting a key. Yeah, we don't have food here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
We talked about that at one time. On a central place to meet, but.
yeah. Well, we can meet.
yeah. But I think we can find some place for that stuff for you.
The cemetery, I keep forgetting people are dying off and losing, I mean, we can go back 15 years and these stones, somebody would have known where they were at. But now, it's not priority of somebody that's gonna pass away. I mean, it ain't gonna happen.
Well, his hired hand would have known, but he didn't want to say.
Oh,
Didn't want to get in trouble, I guess.
yeah.
Is there some of the old residents in Lordstown, the senior ones?
There's a couple I could talk to.
That's what I would
I
pick
don't,
their brain.
he wouldn't know where the stones are at. But
No,
he would
no,
know-
no,
He
I'm
would
just-
know the church.
I don't know. I'm not a native, so I don't know anybody down there.
I know one guy that's 100 years old, he'd know.
You could do that, it'd be great.
Yeah.
I'll talk to him. He probably, I doubt if he went to the church. And
There's Heinrichs, and is it Reik or Reike or Rake? R-E-I-K-E, something like that. There was a few of those. Elias, I think, was another name. There was a few people there.
Yeah, you should show Gary a list of names. He might know some relatives.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
send it to him.
I moved in there in about 1980, so I didn't know anybody. I wasn't around those older folks. I run into a couple of them, but
Alrighty. Hope we helped.
If you can speak to these older folks, that'd be great.
Okay.
I didn't know that it was such a hot issue, but I should have known. I knew that the stones were moved.
We just had a record of 2 bodies being moved. And that's it, there's nobody else, so. And he said it showed, he could kind of pick out some hinges of coffins off and on. We just, caskets, sorry. Coffins didn't have hinges. If they were this wood, they'd be deteriorated.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't all
Alrighty.
moved. Okay?
Thank you for what you're doing. Cemetery.
Gotta wait for that to turn green up there.
If you're colorblind, it don't work very well.
Well, you'll see a flash in there.
It just flashed. Is that good?
I don't know. Looks like it's red to me.
You gotta pull it.
Okay.
It worked.
Thanks, guys.
When I come up. That's why it ain't so hard to.
Cole, you're up next.
Alright,
And I forward you all the stuff he sent ahead of time.
you guys got that information?
Yeah.
Okay. I am Cole Kreisinger. I work for ISG. I'm a project chief inspector. The reason I'm here today is because Heartland Greenway Navigator LLC has proposed a liquid CO2 pipelines that run across 37 counties in Iowa. And talk to you about the possibility of ISG doing your agricultural inspection, which the state of Iowa has a special statute, 479B in Chapter 9, that allows the counties to do their own inspection or choose a company to represent them to do the inspection. And what we do is we're there from right-of-way staking all the way to restoration. So any ground disturbance, we'll have people on site documenting, taking pictures, every track, and that information is stored by us, given to you guys at the end of the project. And it's also available to you or landowners throughout the course of the project. So if there's something that happened yesterday, the landowner comes out and says, I want to see this, we can provide them that information. As far as tile repairs, we have GPS coordinates of all the affected tile, repaired tile. And at the end of the project, we supply them with a tile map of all those locations where those tiles cross the pipeline. So they'll have that information going forward. If they need to put in new laterals, they need to, know where, if they have a problem, where that crossed the right of way. So it's technically a project that's, Iowa says it has to be under the supervision of a professional engineer, but it is not an engineering project, it's an inspection project. And how we differ from a lot of people, any engineering company in the state of Iowa can do it, but we chose to hire professionals, whether it's soil scientists, tile professionals, to actually, people that do that for a living. So we can best represent the counties and the landowners in those counties.
So is this gonna be under pressure?
Yeah. I can't speak to the pressure of this project because I don't know what it's running at. There's also another project proposed to go in Iowa, and I know that line's running at 2,300 PSI. And they need to run that high of pressure to maintain that liquid, because the pressure is what keeps it liquefied and moving, and that's what I was told anyway.
How deep will this pipeline be?
That depends. First of all, it has to be approved. And in that approval process, the utility board that'll be one of the requirements, and can be anywhere from 48 inches to deeper than that. And if a landowner has a pattern tile system, it's that's at 5 feet, let's say. They'd have to be deeper than that. And that also, the separation between the tiles and the pipe is something the utility board will have to define in their permit. So,
Is there a cost involved to the county?
no, it's a pass-through expense. So we will bill you guys, and you guys send the bill to them. And then once you get paid, we get paid. We won't ever ask you to put any money out of pocket. For some reason they don't pay for a couple of months, it's not on you guys. So it's a complete pass-through.
This is a first for me, so I would assume you
was gonna
guys
say.
too, so,
One more thing for your plate.
yeah, it's gonna be a learning curve again.
Yeah, and we have people in our office that are very good at.
So I did have a Brooke Miller, are you familiar with her? She left me, she's the point of contact for the Heartland Greenway project.
Okay, that was actually probably through the energy company, and they
Okay.
don't have anything to do with
That's when I first got that, I was like, so what is this project?
Yeah, and I'm sure that they notify you of the public meeting.
Mm-hmm.
What
Okay.
date is that?
Benton County is gonna be in January, I believe.
Yeah, that's a lot ways away, yeah.
And then
January 3rd, Norway.
So if you just guys decide that this is something you want to do, we will represent Benton County at that informational meeting and answer any questions.
Do you got any information from what they wanna do yet, or still all in the talking stage? 'Cause,
I don't have the information. I mean,
you know, what,
you guys will find out a lot of information at that meeting.
Okay, that was, you know, I wanted to know what kind of pipe, is it gonna be PVC or is it gonna be steel?
Steel.
Steel welded, okay?
Yeah.
And then, your
Extra.
diameter, you already kinda, you know, how big is it gonna be? Is it gonna be like the natural gas system out here?
Yeah, so if you look at this, did you guys see the map of the proposed?
Yes, I got
Okay.
that too.
You guys all got that? So what this project is
Probably
doing
didn't.
is connecting all the ethanol plants in the upper Midwest. And they're taking the carbon out of it, compressing it down into liquid CO2. So there's going to be feeder lines that come into the main trunk, and ultimately this is going to Illinois. So to answer your question, the diameters are going to change.
Okay,
The feeder lines will be smaller that come from the ethanol plants, and then when they hit the main trunk that runs northwest, southeast, it'll be larger diameter, I'm sure.
the next thing, like I said, you know, like, I get enough crap on my farm already, I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
So, are they gonna cram this in the domain down these people's throats, or are they gonna pay up good? I mean, you can't.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just.
I understand, but,
Yeah.
you know,
No, I understand the concern. I would bet the hope of a company like that is to get voluntary signed easements from everybody, but you know as well as I do, in reality, that if you don't want something, you don't want it. So, can't answer.
one of the landowners already called me about it, and I said, I know about it.
Yeah.
The tile lines, 48 inches, if it's gonna be under that much pressure, I mean, it's a pain for the landowner.
To put, well, to ever, yeah, to work in there.
There's tile that's been in the ground for 100 years,
Mhm.
and if you put it deeper, then you run a tile across the top of it, and the tile settles,
Mhm.
and then it don't work.
Right, now you got a wet spot.
Then you, yeah.
And that's also why we're out there to inspect all the tile fixes. Because if they don't do it right, you're absolutely right, there'll be wet spots, and they have to support that. And, you know, we'll have pictures and all that, you know.
Yeah.
On this proposal then, can we wait till after the first of the year, January, till, you know, cause I definitely wanna probably go to this,
Yeah,
Me as
you know what I
well.
mean?
So like,
Yeah.
what is the timeline for them to have to make action on, or take action to?
to sign a letter of intent.
Yeah.
It's totally up to you guys. If you don't wanna sign them till after the board meeting, a lot of the counties have said, no, we don't want any of the liability, we don't wanna do any of this, we want you guys there at the meeting, and they've signed. If the project never comes to fruition, it's null and void. So,
How long is that process? In other words, let's say you propose to put this pipeline and then you decide not to do it. Then is this easement still in effect?
no. That's just, I mean, they're proposing a project that they're hoping to get permitted, and if they don't get permitted, there's no easement. There's
This,
no nothing.
this isn't their pipeline.
No,
You know,
they're
he's
just being
represented.
They're just,
They're gonna,
they work for the county to be inspecting the work being done in the county.
To make sure the contractor
which,
is not burying topsoil, is not mixing topsoil, is not trashing tiles, not fixing them like that, to make sure it gets put back the way it is, to make sure they decompact, just so the land goes back into production.
Yeah,
You know,
but
so-
I feel for you, Tracy, because I know what'll happen. You go out there in the spring, you go across the field with your tractor, oh crap.
Yeah.
And then, so you call somebody 4 or 6 weeks later, then you gotta go back with your tractor and do whatever, and the rest of the field is planted already.
Well, and hopefully that's what,
Yeah.
with them engaged in the inspection, it would prevent that type of thing.
It won't prevent it all.
So
Well,
what would happen?
Nothing will, and I'm not gonna tell you it will.
Yeah.
But if it were going across my farm, I'd want an advocate out there. I'd want documentation. I want to know somebody's out there that I can talk to.
Yep.
In our experience, we were involved in the Dakota Access Project that ran across 18 counties and a lot of the same counties that you see on that map. And yeah, I mean, I still talk to landowners that, you know, hey, this isn't right, but we've worked with them to bring it to the attention of the gas company to resolve problems when they arise. But yeah, there's always going to be something. That's a lot of farms to go across and not expect zero problem.
So what are other counties doing if they don't sign, like with you guys, or you know, like a company like yourselves? Then it falls back on the Board of Supervisors?
No, then it's, if you don't choose to have a company do the work for you, then the county is responsible
So that's what I
for
mean,
doing
like
it. Your
engineering.
engineering.
Yeah.
And what you run into is, I mean, the counties aren't set up to, I mean, this is a 6 and 7 day a week thing, and you're out there from dark to dark. That's what you do, and most counties aren't, you know, set up to do projects
So I
like
just didn't know
that.
if my
So,
brain was aware of any of that.
I don't know.
Have you-
See, that's why I said, I'm interested in your services, but I will wait
yeah, no,
until
I,
after the meeting.
yeah, find out more
It's-
information.
Yeah.
If you, I mean, you guys can call us.
Cause, you know, that's my question, you know.
Yeah, no,
It's kind of
they'll
the
be
first
able
we've
to
been
answer
aware
a lot
of it
more
too.
of the,
Well, I got sent this a couple weeks ago from the Iowa Utilities Board, so.
yeah, no, you'll find out a lot more of the what, where, when, how, and what their plan is, because I don't even know, you know? I just
Mhm.
know that it's coming, you've been notified, and if you want somebody to represent you, we'd be very happy to do that, so.
Doesn't cost anything to pass through, you know, and, that meeting can still be attended by yourself and or ourselves. They can still be there as representative. Doing a letter of intent doesn't sound like it's that big a thing. It might be in our best interest, because I don't think Myron's got the time or the capacity.
No, I wouldn't even think about dumping it on him, yeah.
So, and if it doesn't come to pass, then it doesn't matter.
So you wanna sign it now?
Well, I think it's something that,
Did you want to check with the county attorney?
yep, that's what I think it should be done. I'm
I
not
mean,
signing.
I've just never had it in my history or understand how this is gonna work, so,
Yeah.
either.
I think his office needs to look at it.
Okay.
You know, and it's
Yeah, no,
better to send it sooner than later.
Okay.
So I would wait off, hold off then on signing your intent.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
let
that's,
him
most
look at it.
counties do that, they want their attorney to look at it, and I don't blame them, I would
Yeah,
too, so.
yeah. So, I mean, that makes sense. So, I'd forward that to the county attorney's office, and
You want me to forward what we've received from Cole then?
that's the contract.
Yeah,
If I remember right, it was fairly lengthy.
Where is this generated, or why does the pipeline end up in Delaware County?
so.
By Illinois?
Yeah. What I know about carbon sequestration is the reason why these projects are going on is for ethanol to stay relevant in the low carbon fuel market. So they're trying to make the best low carbon fuel for some of these states that require it. And it's also keeping the price of ethanol up. But all these trucks you see, I would assume, go to ethanol plants in Nebraska, South Dakota, Minnesota, and they're all going down into Illinois because there's only a couple places in the concrete, that the soil
Okay.
is
That was
suitable
200 pages.
to inject the liquid CO2 into the ground, because they send it a mile into the ground. You'll learn a lot from the meeting, but that's what they're doing.
Yeah,
They're
that's
sending
this-
it into these.
He should be able to sign off on that.
They're drilling mile wells down, and this is where the liquid CO2 goes, and in 3 or 4 years, it solidifies, I guess, in the ground. But there's only a couple places in the country that the soil is suitable to do that,
Hmm.
and Illinois is one of them. North Dakota is another.
I'll stand corrected. That is the intent that you've got, which is not lengthy. The lengthy one we got this week was the radio.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't think ours.
Yeah.
No, I apologize.
No, that's okay.
That's, I would think he'd be able to sign off on that pretty quick. Once he's done that, then get it on the agenda again, so we can approve it. Just makes sense to have them as well as ourselves.
Are you, have you signed with any adjoining counties of ours yet, or?
I know adjoining counties, 6 counties have signed so far on this, but we're, just getting started.
Yeah,
A lot of
I
those
looked at
counties
it
are counties that we've worked
What
for in the
before?
past, that it's going through too, so we're on a lot of meetings and, it's just in its infancy, but,
Well, that's where we're at.
okay, yeah, very good.
Look at it, and then if he wants to sign early,
Yeah, and you got any questions, did you have our contact information or
Yep.
mine?
Yep,
Okay,
I got your
so,
email, so I'll forward that to him.
cause you're out, I take it.
Our office is, I live in southern Iowa, I live in Monroe County,
Okay.
It's a long drive then, huh?
2 hours, but not bad.
So if we do sign that, did you want to come back again, or do you want us to do it like to save you a
You,
trip?
you tell me, I'd be happy to come back if you'd like me to, I mean,
I didn't know if you
We
guys
can
wanted
sign it,
questions.
she can email it, that's all right with you.
yeah, that's fine, yeah.
Are you, to make sure,
I'm forwarding it to Dave.
okay.
And I got,
It's the same thing as what I sent you.
I got a lot of things that I like to discuss with David.
Okay, good,
So you're gonna go up there too?
Hey,
Okay.
okay, good.
probably go over this week, raining and snowing.
Stop saying that word.
I got beans to get out, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good to see you guys.
Yep.
I don't know if I'm far enough to figure out, does it turn green or do you?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think that'd be the prudent thing to do. I don't see any, from scanning that, I don't see any issues, but
I don't either, but just the idea that,
And I don't know if we're gonna be solicited by other companies as well.
oh, I'm sure you're gonna. But the idea, I look at it that, it's just in the talking stage. They ain't got permission yet from Des Moines to start any of this. This is down the road. Look how long the natural
Oh, yeah.
gas and the bump that's south of 218, I still think the pipe rises. But whatever, what else we got now? We're behind.
Sheriff, 950.
Hey, 5 minutes behind.
Your new hires?
I've got 3 ladies to start in dispatch. David's got all the information.
Yep, I just didn't know if they were full or part-time or amounts.
They start part-time, gonna be kind of a new truck for us, but they've all sat down and went through the scheduling, and hopefully we've got it arranged to move forward, because that'll be 4 people we're training at one time, so that's,
Wow.
I have 3. on here?
We've already got a girl in training.
Oh, okay, so, but these are all three part-time, same wage as the last one?
Yep, $17.91 an hour.
Okay. And when is this gonna all start?
Right now.
Okay, perfect.
We'll get along into Kristen to get the paperwork done, and there might be a couple of days on a couple of them where we've actually started them already. We just kind of fell in on the schedule that we could get them in.
Okay. I'll make the motion that we go ahead and hire the communication specialist, and these are part-timers, correct?
Yes.
Jessica Roberts, Alyssa McAtee.
Yep.
If I'm saying things right, Michelle Ruse,
Rules, I believe.
okay.
All in favor of hiring?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Can we do 6? We should have time for that while the sheriff's here.
Yeah, we're gonna have time to do it.
This is the purchasing of that tower.
Okay,
We've already approved the purchase of that tower. And I'm sure the sheriff has seen the invoice for $16,000. They would either like us to go ahead and complete the purchase for the $25,000,
okay,
the Raycom, or pay the 16 rent.
okay,
And the rent continues on at $1,000 a month.
okay, who got this? The purchasing agreement, the real estate contract, short form,
Mike sent that to us,
Well, I've
right?
got a copy and I forwarded that to everyone.
is that what it, where I got it?
Yep. And the only thing I could see is we'd have changed dates. You should have a copy of that in your email. Any input there, Sheriff?
I just assume we paid for it. And then they'll forgive the rent from the town.
You had seen the contract originally, I presume?
Oh,
That was 16 months ago.
Yeah, they've had it a while.
Yeah,
But it wasn't filled in properly is what my understanding was per Scott. If you look at that, it needs some, that's what he was waiting on. Is for that contract to be filled in properly. There's some blanks in there.
Well, the thing, none of the blanks are filled in from my
That's,
end.
that's what Scott was waiting on.
Yeah.
That's not ready for you guys to sign, is my
Right,
knowledge.
right.
So,
can we, approval? Pay them for this.
and where is it coming out of?
The
911,
the 25,000 for the purchase of.
yep,
But in order to do that, this contract has to have the blanks filled in.
okay.
And that's
Still
what
with the
Scott.
county attorney.
it was already sent there once.
Still got it.
Obviously 16 months ago. So,
That's why it's $1,000 a month rent.
right.
I'd like to get rid of that $1,000 a
Okay.
month rent.
So Tracy, you're going up there? Okay. I would make sure that you get the blanks filled in.
Okay, 26, okay, it's got the location on here, but I don't have the legal description, correct?
Right, and that was another portion. that
Yeah.
was supposed to be.
Okay,
Yeah, that's what I mean,
Okay.
that's not ready to be.
okay, all right,
I know it's been over to the title company. And is back to the county attorney.
okay,
What has been there, the abstract?
Yeah, because they would probably provide the legal description.
Yeah,
Okay, so the abstract has been updated?
I believe so.
yeah,
I wonder if it's gonna have to be continued after 16 months.
Picked up in August of this year. When
Okay.
went back across the street.
Well, bottom line is we either pay the 16,000 rent or
And then
enter into
for
the
the town.
contract for 25,000 and buy the thing.
Problem is, did you have,
Simply wrote them a check for it and go.
what, do we have enough spending authority in E911 for that on top of? I mean, because you guys weren't planning for the $16,000 rent.
No,
So that's, what I'm- yeah,
we've got the money.
because you guys
to
are
pay
your
for it.
own entity, you'd have to,
Put $16,000 rent in there.
so you'll have to amend your budget before we can do that as well.
Well, I believe if they can get a check for it, they're willing to
Turn it over.
turn it over and be done with their 16,000. They won't collect the rent.
Okay.
They want one or the other.
One or the other. Question, sir?
I was wondering about, can we make a motion giving me permission to sign the contracts and all that?
Once the,
Once the legal description is everything's down, and I can sign it, she can cut a check then right away when I get that done and
sure.
squish
Do
it.
the
I don't see a
handwrite
reason.
then today,
Yes.
with that motion,
Can we do that?
because
I'll
otherwise
make
the
that
claims,
That work for you?
Yep, that works for me.
When I get with David,
otherwise the claims will be 2
okay,
weeks
do you
from today.
wanna make the motion?
I did.
Okay, all
So,
in favor?
say your motion fully, please, again,
Okay.
so I can do it all.
We're making a motion to authorize the chair
Yep,
to sign the contract once we have the legal description entered into it and the blanks filled in correctly on the contract, because it's just a blank contract. Dates are gonna have to be changed, et cetera.
Yes.
and approve the handwritten claim to pay.
Okay, thank you.
Otherwise, you have to, because by that amount.
All right. That was my motion.
Okay,
And the amount is 25,000,
Right, it's
not
not,
16.
it's for the purchase of, which we have already
approved.
approved the purchase. We're just now approving him to sign the agreement. Calling for a vote,
Yes,
and it's not by resolution? Okay.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Now this, hopefully it'll all work. But it's time to get it taken care of.
It's beyond time.
Yep. He's gonna play with the sound on here.
Eliminate the chopping.
I don't know why I think I have it in there. I think I have it in there.
You have it in there right, it's just I think I had it turned up. From the old boardroom, I have a feeling.
Oh. Hi, Lindsay.
Morning.
Morning.
Can I have a seat?
Okay, Lindsay.
Well, I had to leave for a family emergency, so it's just me today.
Okay,
I wanted to talk with you about the potential of having the Ag Mental Health Center be located in this building. When I first kind of started, it was a plan to potentially bring them here, kind of use some of the spend down dollars to pay for a renovation of an office. COVID then happened, Abby was kind of back, they wanted to back off a little bit, they had a lot going on, obviously managing all that. So I recently re-engaged them, Kathy Kane and then Kathy Johnson's the executive director, about coming here and relocating from their current place here in Benton. So all of their services being brought here. That would work well then, what I do, referrals back and forth. They're looking to get out of where they're at right now, it's not the best place. So that's kind of the idea. Initially, when this idea came up, we had some open offices. But from the time I left and came back, some of that got switched around. So, my proposal, or my idea, my thought, was that we relocate the Historical Society into where the overflow is of like the food pantry. They're here at night, they don't necessarily need a confidential space. Abby would be here every day, all day. And then kind of partition off a space in there for them in that location. You wouldn't have to move Richard's spot, you wouldn't have to move the food pantry out of there, they didn't use all that space. That's kind of my thought. I obviously haven't approached anybody about it except talking to you folks to see what your thoughts are.
So again, you want to put them where the Historical Society is?
Yes. So that's 2 spots down. Yep.
Well, that's historical and the volunteers.
The volunteer center doesn't have anybody there anymore.
I get that, but that's still their office, obviously.
it's just a storage unit.
Yeah, they don't have a
Kate has all of her stuff.
So you wanna use that,
Both
both
spaces.
offices?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we would then renovate it similar to like what I have set up in ours. But they would need 3 spaces, 3 offices, which would fit. I mean, they bring in about 3, she kind of explained this to me. 3 offices, they'd have to have a receptionist and all that. There wouldn't be a lot except for putting up the walls. There's needs carpet in that space.
And you're proposing moving the Historical Society where?
The very last office on this side is currently occupied by, well, it was where, who was that?
Well, Horizons was
Horizons,
there.
yes, that's where it was.
And the food pantry uses it for overflow.
Correct,
Has
they don't.
anybody visited with the Historical Society?
No.
Because I imagine they're gonna go through the roof.
I mean, we're not taking a space away from them.
No, but you're asking them to share a space with the food pantry. The food pantry gets a little protective of their supply.
So right now, they really have one wall that they are using one side of that space. The other side right now, I think, is because they had the Boy Scout food drive, so they have
Right,
overflow
right.
on that other side.
And it was meant for a temporary scenario, from my recollection, not a permanent, issue. And so if it was temporary and if they could relocate those supplies, wouldn't it be better to put the Abbey Center clear to the last office space?
That would be the best. If we could get
I
it.
mean, there's less disruption.
That
Otherwise, you're disrupting the Historical Society and the pantry.
Because I think, I'm going on memory here, Tracy, did we measure that out once to do those,
Yeah,
that third office?
yeah.
And it'd be much easier to put your office space into an open area, which the other one's not an open area as of yet.
And you guys have much more knowledge on all this, so if that's a better idea,
Well, I think we should get with the food pantry or whomever, see if they can consolidate that onto their side. Or put it over into the volunteer area, I guess, if that's just being used for storage now.
It is holding all of Benton County developments stuff.
Okay. Yeah, and they're not up here anymore, they need to do something with it. Get old Kate.
That would kind of, with them in here, we kind of round out the
Right.
one-stop shop for
Yeah.
things.
Now, we charged Horizons a fee, and I don't recall what that fee was. So are we going to be doing the same with the Abbey Center?
Right, they've asked me what it would be, they're paying rent right now, so I don't have any, I've talked to kind of DHS and what rough, but theirs is different, their deal on their side is different, so I don't know what you guys have in mind. That's Abby's kind of question to me is, what's our rent cost gonna be?
Just remember that any of the rental space we pay property tax on.
See if that works any better.
Has
Yeah,
to be
the
figured in.
assessor will,
What's that?
he will put that portion into taxation.
I get it, yeah.
So then you gotta think about that, because we talked about that on the other.
So we're not trading dollars,
Right, you wanna at least break even, I'd assume.
I would assume, yeah.
But yeah, we did get billed for the taxes
Yep.
on this. Same with the Cedar Valley Ranch land, we pay on that now too. That's-
So how much are they willing to pay?
They won't tell me.
They won't tell you.
I wanna know what you guys.
I would think you talk to Larry and kind of guesstimate taxes and look at that too.
Wow.
Well, we had a tax bill,
Yeah, for that other, so it would probably be similar if you don't.
I would think so. I don't recall what that tax
Because what
bill
he
was.
did is he looked at the building like we did in the portion.
Right.
I guess my personal feelings on this, not listen, is between 400 and 500 a month.
That's what I kinda had in mind that maybe we threw out once when we first talked about it 2 years ago.
So does the county assessor ask what we're getting for rent? Or how does he determine the
Just
taxes?
watches the
on it?
video.
No, he
Doesn't-
looks off the assessed value of the building and stuff as well. I mean,
And he goes on the square footage.
yeah.
Now, I think Horizons paid one fee. I think the utilities were included with that. Is
That was their
correct?
next question, and I like.
I'd have to go back and look, I can go back and look at one of those, we had agreements with them.
That would be wise to see.
So then you put in a different meter for them?
Not if they're included.
See, to me, it would be just one fee and that's it.
We don't,
Because right now, you put the bill on right now.
we used to take the utility bill and divide that portioning out. You had to do like a little mathematical.
Right.
It wasn't just specific to that meter, we had to do our best to justify it.
The only thing would be extra would be a phone line.
Right, and they'll, like, they do telehealth and things like that, but I know we have the bandwidth now to support it here.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be.
And with that small screen, wire that most of that in, I would think.
Did you notice he walked out just in time?
I talked to him about that. The other thing to kind of, and so, when I talked to Mona about this with the region, you know, there are some, fund balance projects we can still propose, and this was kind of what she would have to go to the governance board with the amount to renovate that office.
Comes here first. correct?
Yes, it has to come here first for your guys' approval, and then she would go to the governance board for it. So I think once we know what we wanna pay for rent and we get there, for sure, go ahead. They're gonna wanna come out and see the space again. But we'll have to figure out how much it would cost then. They're not gonna have to carpet that room then. It would
Okay.
be less than.
See, I'm thinking that Mona's already got permission for the room next door.
Yep,
I think she got like $3,000 for that.
yep.
Sarah would probably remember better than I would.
That's what Mona says, it was about 3,000 for hers.
Yep,
I mean, it's gonna be a little bit more because you're gonna have to build 3 spaces.
yep,
In my head, I think around like 5,000.
that'd be more than enough.
Yeah. But I don't know, the food pantry, they have what, 3 freezers, a big shelf.
It could probably be consolidated instead of being on tables. If it was shelved, you could probably get it in that other spot.
Well, the food pantry's here today. Here comes Ben now. So, Lindsay, are you gonna visit with them?
I can talk to them.
Ken?
Were your ears burning?
No. Why?
They should have been.
Talking about an extra phone line and if we move the Abbey Center here.
Oh, that'd be no problem.
There you go.
You heard it
I
all.
mean, if they have the current phone number,
Yeah.
I mean, we would have to have the number ported over to our current phone system and get them a phone and everything.
So I think
Which
there's
would
just
be
a little
pretty
bit
simple,
more
easy to
work
do.
that needs to be done on this for logistics, you know, food pantry, you know, where they would go.
Yep.
Need to come up with the dollar figure that Horizons was paying, whether that's with or without utilities.
It's probably on
I-
paper file.
That would be the next thing. Have them come and look at it. I mean, actually physically, I don't know if we should have a letter and an intent that, yes, we are coming, because I don't, especially if I'm gonna help with the work, I don't wanna do the work and all of a sudden, oh, we changed our mind.
Okay.
I probably would have a lease agreement signed before doing the work.
Okay,
That's better than a letter of intent.
okay.
Makes
Sure.
sense to me.
Okay.
Okay.
And then the last, not, get some kind of idea how big the rooms, how they want it set up.
I think almost identical to what I have in mind, space, and then just one more straight across in that other corner is what they've envisioned, but when they come out, would you like to be there to talk to them about it? Okay.
Why not?
You're doing work with it. It can be smart.
We have some drywall in our shop at home going on right now.
Sounds good.
Okay.
All right.
And I will try to look up, I think the agreement, or we had some kind of memorandum of understanding or something with them, I'm sure. So.
Yeah, I mean, because that's, I think, what they mostly want to know before they say, yeah, let's do it, so. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
See you, Lindsay.
Yeah.
First of all, yes, we have the opportunity to have Kathy do more cleaning through the week if we want her to.
Yep.
She's already coming in for DHS
On Tuesday nights, right?
on Tuesday nights. Do we want to increase that to where she's here twice a week instead of just the one few hours, whatever she's putting in now on a Saturday?
My suggestion was like, this room gets traffic now and in the winter coming. Maybe she could vacuum in here, make sure the garbage is emptied in here as well.
And I don't know what her areas she's supposed to be covering are, for sure, or what, I have no clue what she was set up to do here, other than bathrooms and hallways.
Bathroom, hallway, this room. I know she don't touch any of these over here. They're supposed to do it themselves.
Because
And then
of the
across the hall.
confidentiality.
The other thing I was thinking, eventually, do we want to, if there was a need through the other facilities with this, setting up a position that would clean multiple things through the week, or something to think about down the road?
Mm-hmm. See, I don't know how much do we pay her. Do you guys know?
She gets paid an hourly wage.
Yeah, I know
so-
that.
And then if it's specific to DHS, we take it out of theirs, otherwise we take it out of Department 51.
See, the only time, like, I'd always meet her here on Saturdays when I was working up here.
The concern would be with winter coming on, you get a lot of tracking.
Especially
Mhm.
Tuesdays is food pantry day too, so I thought she could hit the hallway in
Yeah,
here,
so
the bathrooms.
Having the increased, we're not talking, huge amounts of money.
Oh, gosh, no.
So I
yeah.
think it'd be wise to go ahead and increase it.
Probably just a couple hours, I would
Yeah,
think she'd go
and
through there
then-
pretty quick.
Well, she can use her own equipment too. In here, oh, it's all right.
Well,
No?
maybe.
Well, then, on down the road, if we see a need, as he's talking as far as part-time staffing or something.
And that's what I was thinking about, someday down the road, you can have somebody that comes in early mornings
Sure.
and does offices too, you can increase their load, and I didn't know if eventually, like transportation would want somebody in there a day or so a week, or,
Well, I think just for now, let's increase Kathy's, I think who you referred to. I think that'd be the thing to do now. And then if you're going to look at doing a part-time scenario, you'll
Yeah.
have to put that into a future budget.
well, and that's just, it's something, down the road, I don't know what people want or anything,
Yeah.
it's something to think about.
Okay.
So then, the other thing, Justin brought to my attention, I didn't know, when I was hired, you guys had talked to him about a possible raise later, or partway through after I was hired. I don't know what you guys discussed about more money or anything. I didn't know how we were supposed to go about that, or,
I don't know that any time frame was committed to, or
Yeah, and
dollar
I wasn't there,
figures.
so you guys had talked to Justin.
Right, I know that in the past, we have tried to avoid midterm increases.
Yeah.
Try to do it, you know, at the fiscal
Yeah,
year,
yeah.
at the start of.
And
And I think that,
But you did do it, not to interrupt, but you
I-
did do it
I
for
did say
Sarah and
that.
the treasurer's office twice now,
Yep.
so, for various reasons, and that's
correct,
why I told them they had a right to come talk to you.
of course, yep. And I knew that was a can of worms that we opened at that time, but it felt they were extenuating circumstances. So, but typically, I'll put it that way, we don't do it until
yes,
the beginning of the fiscal year. And then you can do that into your budget,
yeah.
which makes sense. And that also puts a time frame with it. I mean, so it's a twofold scenario. Does that make sense to you?
Well, it does me, but like I said, you guys had a discussion with him and I wasn't around then, and I didn't know what, and he was under the assumption that he was supposed to get a
Yeah.
raise after.
Shame on us for not saying, you know, 3 months or or 6 months or at the, you know, beginning of
Yeah.
the fiscal year.
Well, that's why we waited kind of this long. Kirsten wanted me to wait till Rick had been here, got his feet wet and got going. And I've been more than patient.
So, you know, that's my come from.
Is it in your budget yet this fiscal year?
We have enough in the amendment to cover it for
But
there.
we don't know what we're even talking about.
No, but I'm saying there's a cushion in that department,
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
I just heard on the radio the other day, $20,000 a year job is decreased at the same wage, it's decreased $2,000 in buying power.
And I will say, there's a huge disparity between mine and what his pay is. Technically, anywhere, he does just about the same stuff I do, other than I'm the head person. But pretty much everything I do, he does. And, I mean, I know when that job was probably set up years ago, you had your supervisor, and the other guy was pretty much a custodian. There was gonna be a huge disparity between the two. And, I mean, I don't know how far we wanna bring that up, you know, closer, or how you guys want that. I mean, to me, it's a huge difference, I think.
Well, I think that's something you should do with your budget personally.
Yes, but I didn't know how
And-
much you guys are gonna even allow.
We would follow a recommendation, I would think, at that
Okay.
time,
Okay,
to be quite honest.
yeah,
And a department head, there's usually quite a differential in department head to employees
yeah, and,
as well. And some of that can be based off of percentages, I think, is how your office.
Well, that's how
That's
deputies,
different because it's deputy.
yeah.
Right, right.
Not
They
clear.
don't have a deputy position.
I get that, yeah.
and I came from the state, there wasn't that big a disparity between my supervisor and me. And really, in all honesty, it was within $5,000, so.
Okay.
And it's just, I don't know,
Yeah.
I'm new to this, but my big thing was that's what, he was under the impression that he was supposed to.
Yeah, you should have been given a timeline. Yeah. Yeah. That's,
Yeah, but I didn't really want to wait a whole year
yeah.
doing the supervisor job by myself for over a month, you know. Not really that fair. I mean,
Heard what I said.
My recommendation is, you know, you can come up with a figure and bring it back to us.
When?
Well, we made 2 exemptions already, right?
Okay. And what were the circumstances of those exemptions?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
The girls were doing more duties in the treasurer's office the first time, is why you bumped them up.
And why it was Sarah's?
Same thing.
And we
Or she
increased
was
the
mad 'cause-
wages in the sheriff's department too, to some degree.
Mhm.
Yeah, we did away with the training wage.
What I heard on the radio is a $20,000 a year job is devalued $2,000 since the first of the year.
You've already said that, but, you know, we're talking more than a $20,000 a year job here, you know, so
I'm just saying that,
I get it. Inflation has gone through the roof for everyone. And so, yeah, it's not just Justin's job that inflation's gone through the roof on. So, yeah.
but I do support his taking the reins, or taking the bull by the horns and everything while we were absent, while there wasn't anybody here. So,
True, but he was the one and only.
yeah,
I mean, if Ron's not there, somebody's gonna take control.
If someone takes a medical leave, someone takes control, someone fills in. I mean, it's kind of happens all the time in terms of somebody has to pick up the
Yeah.
slack
You know,
somewhere.
I was
Two
just,
people in our department though.
Yeah. And I'm a department of one, but
Mhm.
you know, that is how it works. And in regards to, I do think you should get a raise, and I do think there is a big disparity there. I don't know, we're not the state, I think within that amount of money is not, they have very specific pay bands. We don't have the structure to have pay bands that are
yeah,
that specific, in my opinion, yet, unless we want to pay, you know, we would have to pay a company to come in and do that. It's my understanding, you know, way back in the day, that didn't work out so well. So it does need to happen, but in terms of like the timing also, I can speak to where I came from. I did work in a job for a year before I was promoted, and we did a desk audit, and I got a raise, so it's not abnormal for that to happen. I think it's just more that there obviously was some miscommunication / misunderstanding, so. But I do think it needs to be different than how the state does it, because otherwise, why do we have the two positions different?
well, I do agree that Rick needs to put some numbers together. We just can't be shooting in the dark.
Yeah.
And, you know, and I'm just throwing it out there. I know that it's caused some departmental rifts in the past. And we had a department head that was denied an increase until the beginning of the fiscal year. That's an employee. So, you know, just, yep, going from there. Yeah. Bottom line is you gotta come back to us.
Okay, well, no, and I can,
Yeah. And I think you need to, yeah, get something put together time-wise, et cetera. And, you know, I personally like to see it in your next budget. That's what I would like to see. But I'm one.
Okay.
So, and I'm not saying that you don't do a good job. That's not it at all. So,
so, but is it something you want me to come up with within the next, and talk to the next meeting, or wait till the budget time?
It's my personal opinion.
And like I said, I don't figure-wise, I have to come up with that, and so.
Kim. On another note, Peg Shot with the Historic Preservation Commission is asked to put an educational display on the main floor.
Just take it. Okay.
Like huge. We got room.
I don't know, Justin.
She said it in her email. It is.
Oh, it's a 4x4x6. Yeah,
It's only gonna be there for, what,
well.
Till Thanksgiving.
Yeah, basically.
couple weeks?
You want us to let her know that it's okay, get in touch with her? or-
Yeah.
Sure.
Thank you.
And Rick also.
Yeah, she's got an email in there.
When you
Yeah,
talk to
phone.
Kathy,
No, she's got an email.
Yeah, but not a phone number.
just make
That's
sure
fine.
she does
All right.
what she's
Okay.
been doing on her
Thank
time
you. Yeah.
sheets.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know how you.
Yeah, she split it between DHS and us, so
Okay.
that, just to continue that would be great for our bookkeeping.
And we'll see where, if she'll do it.
Right.
All right.
How about that? We're right on time. Gina.
A minute behind.
Look at me, I scheduled well today.
Ed.
Okay, so you have the precincts in front of you. I'm gonna start with Belle Plaine. There was 2 provisional ballots and both of them were accepted. Do you guys know what a provisional ballot is?
Explain it to us.
Provisional ballot is the one in question at the precinct. So the precinct workers put it aside into a sealed envelope and the voter puts their ballot in that envelope. It then gets decided by a bipartisan special absentee team to be decided if that ballot can vote or count or not. If someone comes to the polling place and does not bring their ID, voter ID is required. They have until Monday, November 8th by noon to present their photo ID and their ballot would count. So that's one circumstance. Potential felon, all sorts of different circumstances go into a provisional ballot. I can never refuse a voter's right to vote on election day. They always have the option of a provisional ballot. So we had 2 of those and both counted. So I'm required to tell you that, and then we can go through the canvass of votes. Starting with Belle Plaine precinct. Mitch Malcolm at large, 216, 6 write-ins, 18 under, 0 over. Jackie McDermott, 50, Lyle Morrow, 63, 0 write-ins, 0, 0. Judy Schuschelman, 57, write-ins 3, under 6, over 0. Tracy Popesh, 212, scattering or write-ins 5, under 23, 0 over. Then for school board, we have Valerie Kaufman, 184, Rima K. Johnson, 194, 7 write-ins, 95 under, 0 over. And then for Kirkwood District 6, Bruce Gardner, 79, Joel Tice, 150, 0 write-ins, 11 under, 0 over. Shullsburg. We have the mayor at 86, write-ins 22, under 18, over 0. Lori Travis, 108, Shannon Harvey, 92. Shadow vote, 89, 15 write-ins, 74 under, 0 over. Benton Community District 4, Cynthia Phillips, 3, write-ins 1, 0 under, 0 over. And then we have Center Point Urbana, Kim Shanka, 0, Kim Simon, 2, write-in 0, under, over 0. Christine Opfer, 2, Gwendolyn Cumberland Schaefer, 0, 0, 0, 0. Benton Shullsburg. Jennifer A. Burker, 92, Kimberly Sherm, 107, Audra Piatti, 37, Braxton A. Morrison, 70, 0 write-ins, 80 under, 0 over. Justin Nosvish, 62, Darren Humstons, 89, 0 write-ins, 42 under, 0 over. Kirkwood District 1, Keith Stamp, 2, 0, 0, 0. District 6, 68, Bruce, 93, Joel, 0 write-ins, 37 under, 0 over. And then the public measure, 5 yes, 0 no, 0 under, 0 over. Big Grove, Union, Van Horn. Pat Gorkow, 104, Jared Childs, 5, 0 write-ins, 1 under, 0 over. Amy Knack, 101, Kimberly Fisher, 99, Jim Parmenter, 77, write-in 7, under 46, 0 over. Benton Shullsburg, Berker 13, Sherm 9, Piatti 0, Morrison 3, 0 write-ins, 5 under, 0 over, Nosbish 4, Hunston 9, 0 write-ins, 2 under, 0 over. The District 6, 31 Gardner, 101 Tice, 0, 7, 0. And the public measure is yes 105, 14 no, under 5, 0 no, over, excuse me. Bruce Cedar, Mount Auburn, Jessica Helms, 27, Tasha McGarvey, 38, 1 write-in, 0, 0. Dean Verba, 61, Cody Lundry, 40, Beth Hendricks, 55, Mercedes Bickle, 48, Alicia Burmeister, 54, Austin Braze, he was wrote in for 12 votes, 12 write-ins, 48 under, 0 over.
I'm lost.
Me too.
Yeah,
Where are you
we
at?
lost a
Bruce
page.
Cedar, Mount Auburn. Should have been the next
Wait
page.
a minute, I think she's got 2 pages in her last, yeah.
Goes
Mine
from,
shows independent school, then
Or someone grabbing it off the printer. You don't have that precinct. Yeah, see, you don't have.
yeah.
Let me go get copies made.
You can't, it's on my thumb drive.
Oh, I was gonna say, I was gonna copy yours off of her.
That's,
Yeah.
it's not the results here. Actually, I have the results from the tally book.
Can you do that at the end?
No, we're gonna go in order.
Okay.
I can just have one person look at this. If you want.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
Here, hand it to the chair. He's the official.
So, start again with Mount Auburn. Helms, 27, McGarvey, 38, 1 write-in, 0, 0. Verba, 61, Lundry, 40, Hendricks, 55, Bickle, 48, Burmeister, 54, Braze, 12, write-ins, 12, under, 48, 0, over. And then we have People, 65, 0, 10, 0. DeWinter, spelled differently, both is 1, anyone, 1, Connie Fry, 1, Daphne Henning, 0, 1 write-in, 70 under, 0 over. And Director 2, Maureen Hansen, 65, 0 write-ins, 10 under, 0 over. Benton Schulzberg, 13, 14, 7, 13, 0, 15, 0, 8, 20, 0, 3, 0. Kirkwood, 12, 15, 0, 4, 0. Hawkeye District 3. Beck, 64, 0 write-ins, 11 under, 0 over. Now, you have Ethan Harrison Taylor, which is independents, which all of that is going to be zeros. There's 3 races, everything's zeros. So then we go to Benton Schulzberg. 59, 74, 42, 35, 1, 41, 0. 22, 95, 1, 8, 0. District 6, 36, 66, 4, 24, 0. District 4 for Hawkeye Community is all zeros. And the public measure, 1300. Newhall, Boddicker 122, Matson 110, 2 write-ins, 2 under, 0 over. Linetka 59, Render Connect 153, Campbell 110, Cross 103, Then Seek, write-in 115, DeVries, write-in 95, Wendell, write-in 124, Messer, write-in 98, other write-ins 102, and under 221 and 0 over. District 6, 63, 135, 148, 0. And the public measure, 184, 33, 30, 0. Lawrence St. Clair, Norway, 68 votes, 3 write-ins, 3 under, 0 over. Ron Miller, 57, Robbie Miller, 56, Martin Schulte, write-in 5, Kelly Ludetke, write-in 2, write-ins 24, under 78, 0 over. Kevin Freeze, 66, 5 write-ins, 3 under, 0 over. District 4, 14,000, Teresa Ludeking, 78,090. District 6, Brenda Werning, 1010. College, Harrison, or all those are zeros, is college. Kirkwood, 37, 56, 010, 0. The public measure, 71, 28, 40. Fremont Atkins, Visser, 235, 45, 56, 0. Samantha Peterson, 258, EJ Bell, 148, James Cohen, 201, Michael Stewart, write-in, 91, 60 write-ins, 247 under, 3 over. Vacancy, Julie, 202, Heather Render Connect, write-in, 66, 16 write-ins, 52 under, 0 over. District 4, 83, Phillips, 2 write-ins, 24, 0. District 6, 83, 215, 163, 0. Public measure, 274, 48, 40, 0. Garrison, Garrett Flickinger, 64, 1 write-in, 2 under, 0 over. Robert Detker, 45, Schmucker, 11, Owen, 26, Lindsay, 43, Roman, 42, 10 write-ins, 24 under, 0 over. Union, Peepo, 9, 1, 2, 0. Everybody 0 until Daphne Hennings, 4, 0 write-ins, 8 under, 0 over. Hanson, 11, 0, 1, 0. Vinton Schellsberg, 65, 64, 14, 29, 0, 32, 0. 2, 53, 0, 17, 0. Kirkwood District 6, 21, 74, 2, 7, 0. District 3 for Hawkeye, 12, 0, 0, 0. Public measure, 2, 0, 0, 0. Blairstown, Rodney Kubchak, write-in, 17, 26 write-ins, 49 under, 0 over. Bradley Davidson, 60, Hagan, 80, Luke Becker, 5, Marty Kim, 4, 21 write-ins, 106 under, 0 over. Luzerne, John Brandt, 20, Jennifer Mason, write-in, 4, write-ins, 1 under, 0 over. Barbara A. Shields, 22, Lauren Potter, 18, Kyla Buttercoffer, 22, Dwight Glinsman, 11, Kelly Kindle, 24, Jeannie Brandt, write-in, 5, 10 write-ins, 18 under, 0 over. Belle Plaine School District, Valerie Kaufman, 25, Raymond Johnston, 29, 1, 21, 0. District 6, 110, 2, 16, 0. 44,120,020. Public measure 96,24,80. King Keystone. 74, Mike Seek, write-in 6, 7 write-ins, 7 under, 0 over. Mary Kay Henning, 72, David Lee Monson, 72, Kathy Jantz, 69, 4 write-ins, 65 under, 0 over. Belle Plain, Valerie Kaufman, 1, Rima Johnson, 0, write-ins, 0, 1 under, 0 over. Kirkwood, District 6, 24, 65, 1, 11, 1. Public measure, 77, 0. Benson, 175, McDonough, 175, Warnke, 13, 4 write-ins, 10 under, 0 over. Mike Benson, 145, Josh Holthaus, 216, Armin Martin, 219, 6 write-ins, 168 under, 0 over. Center Point, Urbana, Sharka, 167, Simon, 283, 2 write-ins, 30 under, 0 over. Opfer, 271, Schaefer, 187, 222, 0. North Lynn, Hoover, 6, Krogman, 5, 000. Benish, 10, Shade, write-in, 1, write-in, 000. Price, 7, Boss, 8, Roger Patton, write-in, 1, 060. Vinton Shellsburg,
Okay, sorry.
11011010 02000. Kirkwood District 1, 340 14 139 0. District 6, 02000. And then Urbana Public Measure, 173 yes, 194 no, 10 under, 0 over. Then Cord Sellers, 96, Maynard, 179, 1 write-in, under 9, over 0. Riley Fluhop, 210, write-in 17, under 58, 0 over. Ron Hesenius, 158, 7 write-ins, 21 under, 0 over. Then Vinton Shellsburg, 126, 150, 80, 105, 3, 104, 2, 97, 152, 4, 32, 0. District 6, 100, 132, 3, 50, 0. Vinton 3 and 4, 139, 212, 3, 9, 0, 268, 13, 82, 0. 111, Jeff Holmes, write-in, 37, 10 write-ins, 40 under, 0 over. 128, 10, 27, 0. 170, 183, 107, 131, 6, 129, 0. 107, 202, 153, 0. 128, 159, 274, 0. Walford. Randy Bauer, 95, Bill Voss, write-in, 137, 2 write-ins, 18 under, 0 over. Ashley Grimm, 127, Lonnie D. Goodwin, 88, Todd Gibbs, 110, Amy Ellis, 129, write-ins 8, 42 under, 0 over. Aaron Voss, 189, write-ins 16, 47 under, 0 over. College Community, 191, 8, 53, 0. 165, 12, 8, 67, 0. 180, 8, 64, 0. Now we have absentee. I gotta do a little bit rearranging, so bear with me here. 000 6052290 05030. Belle Plaine 3000 12000 0000 Blairstown 0220 340050. Garrison 1030 04210050. Keystone 50000 534030. Luzerne, all zeros. Mount Auburn 22000 223242050. Newhall 51000 3544322330. Norway 200 2000040 Shullsburg 3000 232020. Urbana 45000 463050. Van Horn 100000 109010. Vinton 2339310 47118 15250 115040 17130. Walford 30000 300030 1020. Belle Plaine School 55000. Benton Community 6120 2000 5000 36810. CPU
Whoa.
Center Point, Urbana.
36, what was that last year saying? Center Point, Urbana?
I haven't said that number yet. We just finished Benton Community.
Did you say 36 on one of them?
Unless I did the public measure, which that was 36810, but I thought I ended at the District 6, which was Brenda Warning 5000.
Okay. I thought I heard 36 something. Okay, sorry.
Okay. 67000 67000. College Community 1020 20010 1020. Independence is all zeros. Northland is all zeros. Union 4000. All zeros until you get to the 4 under 0. 3010. Vinton Shullsburg 37 62 26 31 0 30 0 23 62 0 8 0. Kirkwood District 1 10 2 1 0. District 6 63 53 1 26 0. Hawkeye District 3 3010. District 4 is all zeros. Public measure BE 4500. And public measure BF is 36810. So I have a handful of write-in names that you would have to make motions on the voter's intent. Adkins City Council, the first one is Mike Stewart. and Michael Stewart. So I would need a motion if that would be what you guys would say the voter's intent would be the same person.
Make that motion that the voter intent is the same person between Mike and Michael Stewart.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Blairstown Mayor, there was no one running. There was Rodney Kubicek, Rod Kubicek, spelled Kubick, Rodney C. Kubicek, Rodney Kubicek, spelled differently. There's 3 other variations of Rodney Kubicek, all spelled differently.
I'd make a motion that they're all the same.
You want to second that?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Keystone Mayor, Aaron Jans, Janns, and Aaron Jans, Janss.
I'd make the motion that those two are the same.
And I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
This one, I don't know if you want to consider the same or not, because there's Jennifer Mason and Jennifer MOS. So I didn't know what you guys would consider for that, if that would be similar or not.
Mason and Moss, MLS.
Yeah, I have it all written.
Yeah, oh, you got all that part.
Yeah. So that I just threw out there because,
I'd say no.
okay. Luzerne Council, Jeannie Brandt, Jeannie, Jeanie. Brandt is spelled the same.
I'd
Go for it.
make the motion that they're the same.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Do we need to take action on that Jennifer Moss or Mason?
Only if you were gonna accept it as the
Okay,
same.
okay.
Mount Auburn Council, this is kind of the same as that Jennifer. There is Austin Braze with 12 votes, and then there's Austin BR, Austin B, and Austin. I didn't think it was similar enough, but that's not my call. I'm just here to present the evidence. Okay. Norway Council, Kelly Ludake, I really don't know how to pronounce his name. Kelly's spelled the same, but the last name is whatever. DTKELUDEKING.
I think they're all trying to spell his last name.
I'd have trouble.
Yeah, for sure. I'd make the motion.
Second.
I
All in
have a
favor?
hard time saying.
Aye.
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 Walford Mayor, Bill Voss, and William Bill Voss.
Same.
Same. Make the
Same.
motion that they're the same.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
College District 2, and Andy Volt and Andrew Volt.
Same.
Same.
Motion to say they're the same.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Union, the reason I had Union separated out because I had to require all of them, because of the 5% scattering. But there's Daryl D. Winter spelt with 1 L, or Daryl D. Winter spelt with 2 L's.
Same. Motion.
And second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So then I would need a motion to approve the canvas as read, and for you to sign your lives away.
Make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Thank you for doing all this.
You're welcome.
People don't realize how much is involved with an election, that's for sure. Tracy
Well, and then
does.
I have to make abstracts for different variations of
Yeah.
I'm suspecting what you guys will do too.
And then with the school, there's,
So now when do you find out if the write-ins accept the write-in position?
Depends on what the position is, because if, like, for example, City of Walford, I have to get Lynn counties, and then I have to do a second tier canvas, and then I'll be done next week.
Because we don't know what happened with Lynn County.
Correct.
Gotcha.
yep.
Yeah, Walford
That's
is
the school
split
route.
down the middle.
There was only 534 votes of write-ins in the city of New Hall.
And we'll get that next Tuesday, correct? About the other tier.
Yes.
Listening.
All of these. There's only you, and that's that top line. Here's public measure. This one's just the top.
I'll draw mine at the end and I'll scan
And
this if you
then
guys missed any.
You got a pile there.
Which side where? There.
Yeah, you're gonna just, there's a lot of them.
Okay. Is this something we can do after we adjourn?
Yeah.
And
You
is,
probably could, but it's still public because you're
Oh,
canvassing,
oh,
so I'd
okay.
rather just.
Okay, got it.
where do we sign?
On the lines.
Well,
Which
it's not
line?
the chair. You usually
Right,
sign
anywhere.
that under him and then I'll sign. So,
Can't stamp them?
Nope.
Sorry, you have a stamp on you. Still.
We can, get a stamp.
Those are motions and those are different spells. So if there's another motion here too, then they didn't accept them, it's the same.
So if you want to do that back after you're done.
Kyle.
That's sweet.
Is that the big one? You and I have a lot on this. Do you wanna start yours? Let me see that
I
one.
don't care. Done. Here's the clip. Individuals, but they're evidently not.
No little chunk for that.
Yeah, this is the write-in report for New Hall. It didn't fit nicely.
Did she show you the picture we took?
Yeah, I've seen it on.
Gotta make light of our work, right, Gina?
Now I can put some of the phone calls to bed.
Yep, and emails. Other than the second tier is hard for people.
Top
who
line,
Don't
correct?
understand. Yep. Here, Jim. I'll sign the second half. So we fold those over and I get those.
Here, you just want to bring this over to me after you're done?
Yeah, I can.
Thank you, gentlemen.
thank you.
Thank you. You're the one that did all the work.
this one is harder because when I canvass, I don't canvass as the reports of your guys's, because when you go back for historical information, you don't really just wanna go look at a precinct and what was on the ballot. You wanna look at whether it was a city race or a school race, so I canvass it as the races and what entity it is, so I have to do more juggling back and forth to canvass. So it gets a little bit confusing that way, but. All right, have a good day.
You too.
You can go out this way.
It's
I'm gonna leave one blank, one page blank.
They'll catch you.
God, I thought, where are you gonna sign this one?
Haley isn't laughing.
I've done that before. I caught him when you were already out of town, didn't I?
I don't remember. Yeah, I think so.
I think it was the last time we did.
I think I was getting groceries or I'd have been home already. Or
Getting
something.
lunch.
Yeah, I don't usually eat up here. Maybe I did that day. There was two pages stuck together.
Now you gotta sign it.
We gotta put the official seal on there too.
I'm gonna get myself a stamper.
This is what it feels like sitting inside at recess, writing your name or writing sentences 100 times.
I will not talk in class, yes.
I never experienced it,
Oh, I did.
only a time or two.
Everybody ready to switch?
Tracy and I have just him and I's on duty. You do have nice handwriting, I must say. It's not like. Now we know my doctors and
I've got a couple of folks.
like to scribble theirs.
Well, that's where you were talking about a little bit ago, I will not talk in class or something like that. I had teachers that were hard-nosed. If they couldn't read it, they'd throw it back in your face and say, do it again.
Didn't take long enough.
After the third time,
I used to get the pin on the head too, like from behind. They come around the back and
Took a complaint from a retired school teacher I had several years ago. And as I'm writing down notes, she says, oh, it does my heart good. She says, you have your paper at the correct angle. You're doing it. And she says, I can tell just by the way you're doing that which second grade teacher taught you how to do that. And she was right on the money.
I don't think they teach in person. I mean,
This lady said that she was, and I don't know if she still does, but at the time she was still substituting, and she said she would work on students being able to write their name in cursive.
right order.
So Sheriff, are you going to bring the new and improved policy for disclosure of security-related information to the board? We had those 2 additional bullets.
I will.
Okay.
Let's put that on for next Tuesday.
Okay. So amend policy, strike out the old one, and so we'll do it by resolution. So in your opinion, is that to release that policy supposed to be, can we share the policy? Or is that supposed to be kept secret too? Did you guys discuss that?
Policies about gotta be public information.
I was thinking those should be.
What's
changed.
that?
Policy about has to be public information.
I would think so.
Because you brought it up in the meeting and somebody asked for it. I was gonna ask, we discussed that in the. Okay. Well, and I thought if it's brought up during the meeting, it's public information.
Is that paperclip ones that need signed?
These ain't good, yeah.
Yeah, those do.
There's only one to sign.
Just that top one, and then Gary goes on the next line and you down.
Just one to sign?
Yep.
Is that the official one?
Okay. So just top page on this one.
I'll bet you that I got some other stuff.
Thank you. Thank you.
We were not, got rearranged, I shuffled, I took that one sign apart. Got it all started, storage.
Really? You get a hernia from moving the builder, Bob?
His wife called him Bob the Overbuilder.
I don't even know if they still have that cartoon out. Bob the
Bob the
Builder.
Builder, I don't know. I suppose they still, I don't know, they still sell Bob the Builder folders.
I don't know. We had a few of them.
They say that was probably one for your youngest.
It's more Tyler, but Tyler showed more interest in that stuff. He'd follow Jeff around with his little utility belt. Help around.
Are you still online?
Yeah.
Signing of documents.
Can't do this. Maybe we'll be transparent that way. Tomorrow's our post audit. We're Cedar Mount Auburn.
Yep, I saw that email.
We're just gonna do that in my office. Shouldn't take too long.
How do they decide which one you have to do?
It's usually at the top. So like if it's the state level, we would do the senators or whatever. So this one is the mayor race. So. The hand count should match the machine count.
We just did one precinct every time.
Yep. We don't find out the day after an election what precinct, so. So there's no specific rhyme or reason of which one they pick.
You pick one, or 2 times in a row.
Yep. One time we had one that got picked and I think we only had 3 ballots or something. It was real little. It was like, well, that precinct at one time. It was like a township.
So Walford doesn't know yet who the mayor is.
Correct. And so they're all canvassing this week as well. So then next week would be the second tier. So Lynn would have to give us their official, then we do the combined one.
And you give them,
Same with the schools.
gotcha.
Even though like Blackhawk and Benton, or Benton Shellsburg overlap just that little bit, where it could alter the school districts go over there. And that's why there's so many different ballot styles too for these elections. Because you might have 10 voters in a different school district, but yet they're at this precinct. So
Are all the machines the same?
they're all the same, but they're programmed according to what ballot styles go through those machines. So somebody from Vinton couldn't go to Belle Plaine and try to run a ballot through theirs.
Mm.
That's checks and balances. That's good.
Because you're supposed to vote in the precinct you reside in.
Other states could take some lessons.
That's right. And Iowa's lucky because we still have paper ballots. Some don't have that to back
Other
them.
states could
Yep.
take some lessons.
Mhm.
You could speed up the printing on the write-in votes, though.
Well, I can't control that machine,
Man.
but you think about it,
Man.
it's scanning each ballot that those people hand wrote, because as it comes out, it's in different handwritings, how it comes out the way it was handwritten. Some of them do get a little faint and hard to read.
I didn't think that thing would ever quit shedding them out.
What did she say, it was a half an hour worth?
Yep. Like about 30.
So think of our machine when we're pre-testing the absentee machine, because the absentee machine has to accept all the ballot styles. And you have to do so many write-ins for those. So it's long. So I try to like let it go and then we roll it, let it go.
That's what they were doing there.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just best to walk away and then come back.
Jeannie was doing it for a while, and then she'd get tired, she'd hand it off to Janelle, and
She
Janelle
told
would
me
roll
she
for a
doesn't want to
while.
work anymore,
Who's that?
Jeannie.
No.
I had 2 election workers come back after this one and said, let's tap out of what we're done. It's a lot, it's a long day.
I did run for it this time.
We had to keep it politically balanced and stuff
Sure.
this time, so I
Those,
kind of.
Yes, you get a sign.
I did run
Yeah,
for it.
just one. I believe.
Just
Or
the
two.
top one?
Maybe there's 2. I don't remember now.
It doesn't matter.
That's it.
Yeah.
3?
3. Okay. That's an easy one.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure we'll have the same ladies in Keystone and Warren when we have.
No, this one had at least 3 per precinct, and in the bigger ones, we'll have 5 more. So willing to keep working.
So in the counties where there's 5 supervisors, they got 5 of these to sign.
5 people.
Mm-hmm.
You were going.
There's a
You can
reason
wait.
we only got 3.
Yeah, but then there's some things where 2 to 1, it might be nice to have that extra to, where somebody's gone. I can see it both ways, I guess, I should say.
Anything else to be signed?
No, I'll double check.
Yeah.
Is that the file that?
It's not good for Iowa County to have 5. I don't think.
We will be calling on you too soon, Gary. We're gonna start our redistricting committee meeting. And you're on that.
Have to change?
You don't have to, but you still have to
You have to look at. the
look at it and make sure it's all equally populated still.
Oh,
Belle Plaine will have to for their 3 wards and Benton for their 4.
Just to make sure that the populations are the same.
Right. And we just got the final something on Friday, so we have until January, I think it's 22nd maybe, to get it done.
We'll put them right up.
Yeah, we gotta go from this into that. I'm sure we didn't miss any. If you're done signing, Rick, you could probably sneak out. I don't have a problem.
Make a motion to adjourn?
Not that you guys are done signing, I thought you had to
Well,
have.
I want to be transparent, but if they could make a motion and one of them could second to adjourn if you wanted to, if you have to leave.
I don't have to go anywhere.
I can't get these dang papers apart. I don't know what the deal is.
Some of that.
The thing you had to do was report yet, right?
Mhm.
Got anything?
Ron's gonna bring it up next week. Security meeting.
I'll put it on there right now. So we're amending the security policy, correct?
Yes.
Or adopting a new, should I just say adopting a new one?
And then I also met with Raycom representatives, which we acted on with that contract.
You met with them then?
Got a little clarification on if we entered into that agreement. Correct me if I'm wrong, Sheriff, but I think they had indicated that they would hold the contract amount of 7 million through the end of November.
I believe so.
And that, according to what they've told me, that once we sign the contract, there is a installment due, but it's 10%, which is 700,000 on 7 million. I personally think if we're going with Raycom, we need to get acting on this because they're gonna hold the price for us. Otherwise, like everything else, it's gonna go up. So, what do we need to do, Sheriff? We need to have a meeting with these folks?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
We shall,
Do we need to get that on the agenda?
might be one you wanna do by itself.
Totally get that.
I can call them and get some dates.
Gotta get it done before the end of December, or November.
Yeah, I'll see if we can get it before Thanksgiving.
Okay. If we sign that, Haley, are we okay on that $700,000
We have not obligated any amounts officially yet, so
on
we're
the
still waiting.
American funds?
Right. That would be something you guys would have to take total action on. Have you guys been following the NACO emails and stuff, what their recommendations are for the final regulations and stuff on that?
For the final what?
For the regulations and stuff on that ARPA funds.
Yeah.
They keep coming out with new rules and regulations,
Right,
so
right.
it's supposed to
Well,
kind of be,
Any way we go about it.
We're gonna have to make something happen before the end
Oh,
of November.
and that's kind of why I brought up having that, vendor to oversee that big amount of money. They're charged that by the hour. That's what other counties are using. So they look at what we're spending by and they do reporting. You don't wanna do that?
What's that?
For that ARPA funds.
Figure you got, can't you handle that out of your office?
Yeah, but this is a big,
They keep
big
changing the rules.
regulations that they change constantly. So, and then the reporting. So it's daily almost, we're getting emails, so we have to be on top of it, like. I think it's a matter of you come up with a project, you run it by this other, we might interpret it, yes, it's gonna be covered. They might interpret it.
Well, I just don't wanna miss this window of opportunity to lock in this price.
You can still lock in up to the full amount, like you said, and if you don't go to the bank and get that amount, you don't go to the bank and get that amount.
But once we lock it in with Raycom, we have to cut them a check for 10%.
Right.
Okay,
So again, I'm saying if we can't cover it with ARPA funds, you'd have to bond it out and you'd have to pay back the ARPA funds if we found out that wasn't a covered expense.
But we're not, our body is set up for July 1st, correct?
I don't know.
We can start doing the process ahead of time, but we cannot levy for that debt service payment until July 1st
So how do we pay for it?
With the ARPA.
with the ARPA funds.
Okay.
But we don't know.
But we don't know if we have to give that back or if it's totally approved, so that's why I'm saying you can't reduce your amount of a bond.
So we write a $700,000 check to lock this in, and we don't know if we have the funds to write it.
The funds are there in that fund balance, but I'm just saying, if they decide that that's not a covered expense, we could have to
Then
pay
we
it
have
back,
to go
and then we have to go
Okay,
elsewhere.
okay, so we can at least write the check,
This is the
cover the
last
check,
one.
You missed one.
Because they keep,
and if it doesn't work, then,
because they keep changing the.
yeah,
adding
okay. Why don't you get something set up then, Sheriff?
Okay.
I think that would be prudent.
Well, and right now, we're waiting on the DA Davidson company too, I know they've got the,
But we can meet with these folks.
Yeah.
and-
yep.
Well, I know that, Larry Best, Tama County Supervisor, I don't know if I said this or not before, if I did, apologize, but he said they were very satisfied with, getting it set up, working with them. And like anything else, he also said you gotta watch some of the small stuff.
There was only 3 of these to sign.
Yes. So, we're rapidly running out of month though. So,
I'll get a hold of Diana today and see what they've got for next week.
okay.
I think there's another set someplace.
Don't know that. Wasn't there 2 sets to sign?
I am taking whatever, did you keep them separate though, I meant? Yeah.
There's only 2 sets to sign?
Of this,
I guess that's what I had for reports. Okay.
I had kind of three last.
How'd that go?
It was all right.
We got toilet paper in the shitters down at Hannah Lake now.
well, that's good. That's a good report.
Hey,
Thank you for sharing that.
They didn't have it for a while.
What was that? Excuse me.
What's
I
that?
guess I'd never heard that one.
I'm sorry.
Why wouldn't they
We're
have
still,
it? Yeah.
Okay, so that's part of a conservation report, yeah.
What else did you have?
What else did you have, Tracy?
that's more stuff I gotta check with the county attorney about the Atkins Roundhouse, about getting the property, get things moving.
Sure.
They've been sending him emails and phone calls, and so I said I would stop, so I'll be making a lot of stops there, you know, to try to iron some of this stuff out this week. Hey, it's clear sky outside.
Did you get your crops done?
Yep.
There's a lot of stuff on that property. It's growed up with trees, but when I was a kid, I went over there, stayed overnight with some kids, and we went out there. There was a restaurant out there, and bunkhouses. What a deal. Part of it was a mess then. Now it's all grown up in trees.
Well, they're somewhat a predicament is that they're forced to either start cleaning it up for the FEMA dollars.
They did a few years ago, replat that one position out there and give a little sliver to each adjoining lot owner at one time. Out of that.
The board pretty well agreed that forget about $8. Just go ahead and get rid of it.
There's some other conservation properties in the county that are landlocked.
So they'll get rid of that property, what, to the adjacent property owners?
We're not even that far yet. The one guy that owns farm ground, yes, he wants it,
Okay.
but my suggestion is, and I am not no attorney on this, but instead of getting a real, well, someone would get a realtor involved, but I would have an auction. Notify all the parties that are interested in it, have them put in a sealed bid, that's my personal opinion, kind of like you sell a farm, and the top 5 highest bids can come, and they can raise their bid at an auction, you know.
That's for the whole parcel.
Yes.
But if I was an adjacent property owner, I'd want this parcel.
No, we're not gonna, they can deal with whoever ends up with it. Because to me, it's actually 2 parcels. You got what used to be on the Krug farm, that's kind of narrow, and where the railroad tracks went through, which I got somewhat of a history or a learning lesson on it here last Saturday. The guy was telling me about it, that when the railroad tracks quit, they ended up giving it, or they did give it, I think they sold it to the conservation. And I was asking last night, they were thinking like $7,000 they paid to get that property. There again, you cannot find the abstract, they cannot find the deed, they can't find any of this, it's gone. So that's why I want to meet with Mr. Thompson. If he has it, you know, Shelby says it's not out there at the nature center. And you guys look for it already in the courthouse. So my advice to everybody last night, which they agreed on, I said, then you get a copy made. It's gonna cost money.
Did
Yep,
anybody
but-
check with the title company then?
Well, I gotta meet with Thompson, Mr. Thompson, to see if he don't have it.
Because something had to, would have been, or when they did
It
that
had-
last plotting, it
yeah.
would have had to have been done
Yes.
then. So it went out of here at some point.
So we're just, you know, it's like everything else, been talking, but we're spinning our wheels and not getting anywhere.
I think Shelby even come in my office and I let her go through all the drawers in there too. We have a
Well,
cubby in there.
oh, one other thing to give me a heads up. I guess I have no problem with it, but I give them advice to notify the neighboring property owners. Because I said I do not want to go through anything like we did in the spring with the wood chips.
They have to put public notices in, but I would too, on top of the paper and that, go above and beyond.
This is different. They're trying to get a grant to Doolin Hoffland dig the bank out and get it more stable.
Heffley Doolin out there?
Yes.
Okay, this conservation's trying to get a grant.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Okay, I guess I'm jumping around here. But the spoil from digging the bank out, they want to take out here to the county home rule property.
And
Level the spoils out there. I mean, it's dirt and clay, probably.
sand and whatever else maybe.
Why not just stand on the bank? Why do you have to haul it around?
Yeah, that they want to move. I remember Shelby said 1,700 square yards. And they got enough room, they figure they could hold maybe about 700 yards in the park. But they'll have to get rid of at least 1,000 square yards. So they were gonna haul it, out here where they were technically gonna put the wood chips. And then level it off there. So it all depends if they get the grant.
How many yards?
1,000 yards.
Don't make
With
sense.
those OSHA emails.
It's easier just to level it out and do it where it's at instead of hauling it around.
Well, evidently they don't need that much to build up a park or something.
Sounds like an awful lot of hassle to me. I mean, it's easiest just to move it around than it is to put it on a truck and haul it and then haul it out.
1,700, well, like I was telling them last night, I says, I'm not sure, I don't know what a dump truck, Rick, maybe you might know.
I don't know.
But I'm guessing like cement trucks, they haul 10 yards. So I'm guessing a dump truck holds 10 or 12 yards. I'm guessing, I do not
Yeah.
know.
It sounds logical.
We tried 2
Yeah.
piles or something.
Yes.
Just double check for you
Yep.
guys all, please.
Yep.
So they're gonna have 100 loads of dirt they wanna haul off, approximately. 100
Correct.
loads.
Then they,
And like I agree that, dirt, when you buy or something, a dump truck, you dump it off, they don't go very far.
No, but
there's a lot of dirt.
it's basically fill.
Mm-hmm.
Because there could be rocks in there, anything. and
Next one?
everything.
All of them. There's
We
2
all
of that
did.
one, yep.
That's what I was asking about.
2 of these, yeah.
So I don't know.
So I said, my suggestion was you gotta notify the neighbor to let them know what you're doing.
That's a lot of trucks running in and out of there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand why. I don't understand why they gotta haul all that stuff. Just shove it around a little bit and seat it down.
No, you can't do that. You got the roads and all
Well,
that.
100 dump trucks is a lot of dirt,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not sure you can just shove it around.
Whenever,
That's gonna fill in a ravine someplace.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna, yeah.
But like I said, it all depends if they get the grant.
So this is gonna do what to the bank? Did you make it more stable?
I guess, yeah, they're gonna haul rock in there or dunnage or something
Or
or,
they're probably gonna put some sort of riprap.
yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
how much did that, road repair cost?
60,000.
That's all that cost?
Mhm.
Put all that asphalt out there?
Mm-hmm.
We had to come through the claims. The weird part is, it cost 60,000 for secondary roads, and how much did they get back? 100 and what?
100.
110.
Yeah.
110, 120.
So it wasn't quite 2 for
Well, I
1.
know.
It created enough $40,000 worth of hassle.
Well, the gentleman from Boomerang, when he sat here, you wanna call it a day, we're done.
So
Now, if we're gonna have
More
continued
counties, okay,
discussion,
okay. Boomerang, the guy from Boomerang, he mentioned that he would help pay for it, and I directed Myron to send him the bill, send him a copy of it. I don't expect him to pay it all, and I haven't heard.
have not heard. Yeah, I remember that conversation.
Okay,
Yeah, I do too.
and I haven't heard.
That's a Myron question.
Yep.
Or, of course, it'd go through the auditor's office. A check would come to the auditor's
I
office.
haven't received anything.
So I think that tells you what,
But he would probably update you like on the bill or something first.
okay. I know you said you're gonna be visiting with Myron. Put that on your list,
Okay, I will now.
because if he has to send them an invoice, then he should be doing such, because it's gonna get cold.
He said, I'm pretty sure he
Yeah,
said
he's
he
gonna go-
was going to, but I don't.
Yeah.
Boy, that was a gift,
What was a gift?
letting them haul that crap out here.
Well, but again, overall county-wise, wasn't quite, $2 income for $1 expense, but,
It was worth that.
anytime I could double my money,
It was a hassle.
it's a pain in the
Boy,
butt.
boy.
Yeah, I know
There again, yeah, they made the decision, but we had to deal with it.
it. Exactly. So did Myron. Yeah. Okay, Gary's got a motion on the floor to adjourn,
adjourn.
I will second it.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.